start the match. We'll do mid lane gods. Show you guys the mid lane start. Um, we'll both end up in mid with half health because of the red buff, but whatever.
One quick tip too for mid laners before we start. Um, for red buff, not the very first time, but like going forward later in the game, if at least towards the start, if you can try to do red buff with your jungler, because if you're like level 6 and you go to the red buff the second time, there's a very high chance that it can kill you because of how busted the red buff is and how fast and how strong it will hit you. So try to talk into your jungler to go to your red buff because when the two of y'all do it, that's less damage that y'all take and no one should die in the process.
So the buffs scale as you play the game? Like, they get stronger as you go on?
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Mm.
all
Uh-huh.
buffs in the game, every
Everything does.
objective gets stronger.
Yeah. So minions and all that stuff. Everything ends up hitting harder. So,
It's gonna be a weird mid lane phase because normally after the first, is it first wave or second wave? I don't really play much mid, but after the first wave, the jungler is typically there for the next 2 or 3 waves.
yeah. So we'll tell you what normally goes on, but basically as mid you're gonna start on this side of the buff. You're going depending on what god you get, you're gonna build certain things. Mid lanes technically like a lot of them just rush items at this point. They don't get a starting item. If they get a starting item, it's like their fifth item or something when they're already level 20, fifth or sixth item. Instead, they just opt to just like get a tier 2 of something else that's like stronger and better right now. That's to help with like clear. That's to help with like a lot of stuff. But as you can see how this buff is like doing twice as much damage to me right now, and it's attacking faster. This is why it's really important for you to clear with your carry, because I'm literally walking into lane. It's like half health right now. So I got here first. I'm basically gonna use my ability to get wave pressure. I have my wave pressure now. I'm going to get my other ability. I know Scylla's going to come out of here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my ability, force her out. You can do stuff like this when you get that wave clear. Do you see how like much pressure I have on her? She's still level 1. She can't even deal with a minion. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to clear this again. And at this point, during your second wave, you need to watch out because these jungles are both coming from here. So what I like to do is my free ward, I like to go place it over here if I get early wave pressure. That way I know if the jungle's doing the XP or if he's going to come and start ganking me right away. So if you see him pop up here, you're like, okay, he's doing that. I might be able to get an extra little jab at her real quick before he comes over here. If you don't see them over here, you better get over like behind your wave and get like in a very like much more advantageous position because they're going to be coming through here. They're going to be coming through up there and trying to gank you like right away. The other thing you want to look at is if you're able to clear early like this and get wave pressure, you should be doing these side camps here. So I should be starting this while she's still dealing with my wave. Your jungle should be helping you as well if you have that kind of pressure in lane. It's hard to do this by yourself, but it's still like doable. Now I can go back into lane. Both lanes are there. By the time I get back over here, she backed because the pressure was a little too much. So you can clear this. You can free clear this. And now, after I've cleared this one too, I can go in and do this other XP camp. So this is what you're doing as mid, right? You're basically just getting the side camps. You want to get more XP than the other person.
Hello there.
See, this is why it's so rough if you don't have someone helping you on red, because some gods take a really long amount of time to do it.
Also, see how I'm standing off to the side so I'm not getting hit with Scylla's abilities there? Ah, shit, she got me! Yep, I'm dead. So that's the power of backing too. You don't want to like if they do back, you got to realize like I was at what like half health or something there. So I'm starting an engagement where she has tier 2 artifact, so she didn't get like a full anything.
I didn't get anything.
But she does have full health, full ability. She came back. You got to respect it when people come back at full health, so you should play a little bit safer. Also, another thing you should note, There's kind of like a safe way and a risky way to enter these side camps. Like obviously this one up here towards their side is the riskier one. You're a little more out of position. If you went the way I went at the beginning, you're getting risk of like the jungle ganking you and stuff. So what you want to do is kind of go to your camps through like these back ends because this is more like your side. You guys control it a little bit more.
What we
My red
mentioned
buff.
earlier
Yeah, go ahead.
in that fight was that you saw that tiny little fight that we had there. I took 200 damage from archers during that fight. So I've only got 700 HP now. So that's a good significant chunk of my HP, and that was a really, really short fight. You really want to be careful about minion aggro this early on.
Yeah. So I'm gonna clear this.
And I know Giraffe said towers are important though. Fight here.
Oh fuck.
Towers are quite important, but on the other side of the coin, at the start of the game, like this, it is much more important and much more efficient to go farm like he's doing now, farming the camps on the side, farming the camps and on your side of the jungle or invading their jungle if you have that pressure. Just trying to snowball your lead as much and as quickly as you can is going to be very beneficial for you and your team.
Yeah, there will be a point where towers are everything that matters. And honestly, the game isn't, like I said, it's not about the kills, it's not about that stuff. Like, it's about getting those towers down. But they're really strong early game, and you're normally squishy. So the sooner you farm up and you get a level lead, so I'm level 8, she's level 6. I don't really have mana, so I got to get out of here. Like, paying attention to that kind of stuff, it'll put you in a lead faster. And the faster you're, like, level 10, the sooner you can get, like, a tier 1 tower down, like that kind of stuff. Is important. So this is all mid does. So sometimes I do see mids rotate to this back camp here if there really isn't like any farm, or to one of these camps. They'll do them with the jungles. If your jungle is doing well enough and he's up here taking all their stuff, you can feel free to take these back camps here. I know Viz was saying like don't take them and stuff, but there's certain times where you can. If you see your jungle stealing all their jungles, yeah, and there's timers on each thing. If your jungle's over here dicking around in duo and this camp's coming up, like, do it. Because these spawn pretty fast. You always want to be doing something. Like,
I think
Conquest...
they're on a 60-second timer.
Yeah. Conquest is about farming. Like, this is the main
seconds.
thing you want to do.
There is fighting in between. Don't be too afraid to take fights, because if you win them, of course, that's a plus. But don't forget to farm too. Both are very important to Conquest.
Got blink.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
If there was junglers in this fight, it'd be completely fucking screwed.
And also here, as you could tell, Giraffe had a 2-level lead because of the farming that he's done, which gave him an advantage in the fight. He has more points in his abilities, more items. All in all, it just makes him stronger, which helps him in said fights.
Yeah, so when you're this big, now I'm level 9, he's level 7, depending on how their jungler's doing, you can go in, you can start looking at their camp, you can ward their red to know when it's up, like, you can start stealing some of their buffs and things like that. I'm so, like, beefy and stuff, and I can put so much pressure on her because I got this lead, right? Like he was saying, because of the farm. That early game stuff, like, kills do things, but it's not the end-all be-all, but it will help you farm more. But do you see how I'm not sitting in lane waiting for the wave to come back? Like, this is the most important thing about Conquest. If you take one thing away from what we're teaching you here today, it's be doing something all the time. Like, don't be sitting here waiting for the next wave to come. Like, do the wave. As soon as that wave's gone, you now have time to go do this camp. I can go do my red. It's up. Like, I'm going to go get more experience. I'm going to go get more farm, like all that stuff. I can back and go get my next tier of things. Like, I have full boots available. I have no mana. Like, just be getting mana pods and stuff. So this is kind of what mid lane does. You want to snowball here. The other thing about mid lane is there's going to be so much traffic. Obviously, we're doing a one-on-one. It's like, it's whatever. I can run around and do everything. you can really get caught out of position. If I'm still in here, I have no mana. Like, there's going to be jungles coming in and out of this lane. Solo is going to rotate over you and slap the crap out of you. Like, hell, even like the support's going to come in here at like level 5 or 6, and you're going to have like 2 people in this lane. So you just got to be realized and ward. Some of the best spots to ward here are like right in here. This is like a 3-way path to see if anyone's coming in. Over on the left, you want to be warding as well. And then if you can get these wards that are up here, these are really important wards if you can manage them.
I'm so
This one right here is okay, but if you can get a ward here, this is so important to your whole team because your enemy jungle is going to be running through here all the time. And if you can tell your jungle where their enemy jungle is with a ward like this, that is really, really important. So if you can ward that, you're going to see every now and then, you're going to see somebody come across here in the back, come through here. Yeah, you're going to see that. And their enemy jungle's going to know. Yeah, they'll
over it.
They'll do their speed and they'll come through here, and then our jungle will know, hey, he's going over near duo. He's in this side of the map. I can do whatever I want over here. Like, it helps your teammates, too, when you do stuff like that. That's about it for mid.
Mention tower gold. So if I push minions on the tower, and Giraffe isn't there to gain the thing, they're going to die, and he's going to get no gold or XP from it.
Yeah.
If he is there, though, and he doesn't last hit them, he only gets something like 10%. Is it 10% of the XP? You get 3 gold.
Yeah, I'll see.
7 XP or something.
It's this one. So I got 3 gold. 40. You still get the XP, but you get less gold. So it's really good to get like that kind of pressure and get the whole lane like under there. Come here.
Yeah, that's very important in solo too. Being able to push towers, or not push towers, push waves in your opponent's tower, so they gain not as much gold as they would if they cleared the wave outside of tower.
You got full bank. Yeah.
I do, son. A
Should've
little bit
looked
of
at
See, Typhons.
that's another thing I didn't notice. He's got full Bancroft, right? So where I got him low, he's just started doing exponentially more damage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hit
So
tab.
you get quite good at gauging how much damage the enemy is going to do, but when they've got something like full Bancroft and I don't know about it, he's going to do a lot more damage and I won't be ready for it.
Yeah, and see, at this point, you can take a tower easy, and now you've done an objective, and you can push up even further. Like, they don't have that thing to keep them safe. They don't have that extra thing, and you can even start working on these. So there will be a point in the game where you're much more powerful. Like I said, you can just have the farm go sink into those towers. He's not going to get XP. He's not going to get gold because he's not there. I can go take his buff. I can come back in here.
There is strategy to taking towers, though. So when you take a tower, it means minions push up further on the wave. So can I please walk around?
So sorry.
Motherfucker, I'm trying to explain something. Right, so now that this tower isn't where I'm stood right now, minions aren't going to die here. So instead, Giraffe's minions are going to die further back at this tower, which makes it easier for me to get XP there.
Yeah.
So it also means minions are going to meet further up on the wave.
Yeah, they're going to meet like around here.
Clash around here.
It's going to be on their side of the map more.
It's not really that useful in mid because you tend to have a lot of traffic, but in something like solo lane, if I were to take Giraffe's tower while I'm ahead, he can sit further back and he's going to be a lot less gankable. He's going to be a lot less
punishable.
He's not going to die as much, basically.
So early on, why we're teaching you to farm and be doing something instead of like just running into the wave and stuff is because when you're able to get that pressure on them and you're doing this, that wave is running into the tower and they're dying to the tower, they're dying to them, and you're keeping that tower up for longer. So it is more advantageous for like what we're talking about right now, which is...
So if this tower was still up, I would have to play at this tower because if the minions get here, they'll just die to tower, I'll get no XP, so I have to play here. This means that if a jungler wants to gank me,
yeah,
they
if
can
I'm a
gank
jungle
me from here, they can gank me from there, they can gank me from back here if they want to do a
yeah,
gank,
they could even
come
gank
from here.
you.
But if now that he's taking the tower and I'm behind, I just play back here on my tower, I'm perfectly fine. A jungler can't go this deep. This is way too deep.
Yeah, and it puts me at
So
risk more because I'm hanging out here,
I'm
and then
safe.
all of a sudden their jungle comes from speed, and now it's a 2v1, and I get slapped. So there is like a disadvantageous thing to taking down towers. But if your whole team's ahead, like there is a time and place to push and get the towers down and everything. But it's normally when you have the lead, when you're over farmed, when you can handle like getting ganked and things like that. So yes, normally it's better at the beginning of the game to just let the minions go into the tower. You don't have to hit it. Wait until you're a certain level and your team's kind of ready to push up. The only other thing I want to talk about maybe before we get do duo lane, I want to talk about these scorpions and everything around the map. This is the one thing we haven't talked about yet, and I think I'm powerful enough to do these, and I might as well
We're
do
the
them now.
Endeavor here, so we can do an actual duo lane.
Yeah, let's we'll do that. That'll be good actually. So real quick, objectives that are done besides all the buffs in the camps. There is Gold Fury on the left, and there is Fire Giant on the right. And before these spawn, you have to clear these scorpions. These scorpions are called Greater Scorpions. They're just kind of like a precursor, but the Gold Fury won't spawn until this is done. There will be a time where you have pressure, so I'm level 15, they're level 13. Maybe I just killed Scylla, or I just got the tower down, so she's playing back here now. We now have the pressure on the map to do this and not fear anybody coming in and like taking it or doing anything. So you can call your duo lane and say, hey, guys, let's clear this scorpion real quick. And that's what I'll do real quick here. Is I'll just clear the scorpion.
Holy crap.
And once you clear it, now the countdown starts. Did you just try to do the right one? So
yeah, I was like half HP, so I just fucking died to it.
once you do this, Gold Fury will be up fast. So Gold Fury does spawn fast. Fire Giant's still on a timer. I think it doesn't spawn until 15 minutes anyway. Which it is exactly at 15 minutes right now. So I'm going to go over there and do that one too. But once gold comes up, you guys can do the oracles. These give you vision. It's a free ward on Gold Fury when you do them. So sometimes mid will come over and do oracles. Normally it's the jungler's job. But sometimes like a carry or a mid come over and you can clear it if the jungle's preoccupied doing other stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to do this by myself, but doing Gold Fury...
Not without gold.
Yeah, I should probably have my ult to do
When
this.
Giraffe said that mid isn't about counter building, that's not entirely true.
Yeah.
So in the state that I am now, I would normally get a Spear of Death if I was into a different mid laner. But Anubis is obviously a very high lifesteal god, so I need a Divine Ruin, otherwise I can't compete with him.
Yeah, so Divine Ruin, like, basically Scylla rushes Divine Ruin to put a damper on my healing
So
that I
while
have.
it's not the highest DPS option and not the highest utility option I could get, it is the best option.
Yeah,
It's anti-heal.
does a 40% reduced healing for 6 seconds, so if she hits me with the Crusher, I ain't doing shit. I'm
And
basically neutered.
One quick thing about the greater scorpions on both sides. If your team kills them, if y'all didn't notice, there were 2 orbs that flew out of that one. Those
Yeah.
2 orbs give an enhanced buff to the 2 buffs on that side of the map. So on the gold Fury side, it will give a buff to the red buff, and it will give a buff to the void buff, the purple buff at duo. For the red buff, it's like what is extra damage or something,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and purple buff
It's
is like
lifesteal
extra
as well.
I'll show you
Gives
here.
you like
and lifesteal.
5%,
Oh, cool.
10% lifesteal.
So this is increased physical and magical power by 10% plus a flat 10, and then the buff the lifesteal's 7% here. So you're getting the regular buff plus a 7% lifesteal because it's buffed. So you can tell if a camp is
I'll
buffed
take
if it
the
has
full,
these little
nowadays.
stars above them. And as you can see, once we did the Greater Scorpion, you now see in this pocket, this is there's a timer countdown here for a spawn. This is the other scorpions that'll spawn throughout the rest of the match after you do the Greater Scorpions on each side. And when you do these, you get the buffs on your side of the map. So if I'm able to get into the enemy
Greater
jungle and do
Scorpions
this...
switches sides. So if your team kills it, it will go on their side. If my team kills it, it will go on.
Yeah, like Scylla, kill this so they can see that you get the buff on.
Can I help me out,
on your
please?
side. Here,
Not a very
is that
good
better?
objective.
Oh shit.
I got a quick question.
I'm sorry.
You killed him.
I used my one
Oh,
on
does
you.
this help? Let me do half your HP.
Ah, dude, I forgot. I don't know.
Who had a who
I'll
had
just do
Yeah,
a question?
how did you check to see what the buff gave you? Like, how do you see
You hold
them?
alt.
down here. Yeah, if you hold
Alt?
left alt, you see how my mouse moves around? I can
Yeah.
ping things on the map. It's right click
Okay.
or left
We
click.
can't see your mouse, but his mouse
Oh,
is
you can't
wherever
see
he's
it?
pinging.
Okay.
I was wondering how people did that. I just never took the time to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few menus you should know about. There's holding alt for anything on the main screen. There's
And
T, which will
yeah, go ahead.
bring up a little summary screen of how the match is going. So you can see top damage, top kills, what you've been hit by, what you've hit. There's Y, which will show what killed you.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you can
quite
see
familiar with
Killed
that
by
one.
damage I did.
chaos.
You can tell, if you're taking too much damage from magical characters, you build more magic defense. Taking too much from physical, you build more physical. And there's K, which will bring up your abilities and a description of your passive and everything. Should show
Alright,
on the K screen
thanks.
real quick.
I really want to get this gold
You can
fury
also
down.
change the cast type in K.
Are you gonna die?
Nope.
No.
I'm good. Okay, so I got gold fury. As you can see, you get gold from it. It sometimes helps you get like that last item. I know. I really want to so bad. Piece of shit. I was gonna wrap you and tap you so hard, dude. So hard. Yeah, a 42-second
takes 5
back.
seconds to back, and it takes 0 seconds to get killed.
Well, I have a 42-second death cooldown. Go do this. Go do this. We'll do Fire Giant next.
Dude, I can't see your pings, Giraffe. Do you know how this
Do
game
the
works?
Greater Scorpion on the right side. I'll go get my spear. And I will get the booty.
Honestly, I don't think I can take this.
Um,
Fucking tanky, and I don't have any last still.
we've covered mid lane and sort of like the basics of that as well. We can go to duo and just like do fire whenever we're done with duo. Do you want to do that instead?
15 HP is 14 too much HP.
So the other thing, so besides Gold Fury, this every time it respawns, it turns into something different 3 different times. So there's Gold Fury, there's Primal Fury, then there's Oni Fury. You want to fight over these objectives when it becomes like Primal and Oni, because Oni gives you like basically a beefed up wave in all 3 lanes. So it provides lane pressure, and it can actually do something like if you get this in the game, they need to like defend, like maybe there's like a Phoenix at that point that is vulnerable to like an Oni minion wave. It can give you the ability to go do Fire Giant while like an Oni wave is pushing up. So Gold Fury is important. It's an important objective to fight over. You want to have vision on it. You want to ward it as much as possible. The next thing that I want to talk about is Fire Giant. This thing. I have my
I
alt
hit
now.
the minions to be
So,
fair. That was just AoE that got you.
so the other thing is Fire Giant and Pyromancer. So Pyro, if you do Pyro, this gives you basically speed coming out of base after backing. That's what this will do. I'll see. I don't think I can do Fire Giant after this. We'll see. We'll see if I can. You help me crusher it real quick. I'll survive it, I think. No, I won't. Okay. So if you have Pyro, basically what you can do is you can back, and you'll see the effect it gives me real quick. See how this is like on fire or whatever, and I get this extra little buff here. So I have 40% movement speed for, however long that timer's up. So I can actually go and get back to Fire Giant really fast.
Or until you hit something.
Yeah. So basically I can run all the way back and see how fast I'm getting back here. That's what that buff does. The other thing is
Does that last
Fire
the whole
Giant.
match?
Sorry, say that again?
It's a lot of
Is that,
golden XP for your whole team.
Does that last the whole match? That speed buff out of
No, it's just for a short amount of time. I think it's
Until
like
it respawns.
yeah,
It's for 15 seconds for Pyromancer.
yeah. When you get out of base, and then basically once it gets to like 1/4, that buff will be gone on your base. And you'll need to kill it again eventually to get the buff again. The other thing is Fire Giant. So Fire Giant, attacking it if I start attacking it, it aggroes me, as you can see. So whoever starts Fire Giant is the one that gets attacked and aggroed on it. And if I leave, it'll start attacking him, right? I don't know if I can do this right now, even at level 17.
No, I don't think so.
Can I get health back from that? Nope.
It takes a whole team to take down
No, you need to
Fire
be close
Giant.
to it.
Yeah.
So
So you can see
It
most
used to.
of
It
the
doesn't
time.
anymore.
Yeah, most
There are
of
certain
the
characters and
time.
certain builds that can take it by themselves.
Yeah, if you have like a carry with like Death's Embrace and Lifesteal, they can normally do it themselves. But you need a lot of Lifesteal, you need a lot of power to take it. It's hard to do it with 2 people, even hard to do it with 3. So normally you want your team to group up and do this objective together. And just remember, whoever starts it, they get the aggro. They're getting attacked. I think they do less damage to it.
They
And
do less damage, yeah.
yeah, so whoever starts it, you don't want your main damage dealer to start it. You want like the tank or the support, like solo or support to start it, and then you want your carry and mage to like then be backing you up and doing all the damage to it to get it down as fast as possible. So when you come over here, you'll all do it together. Normally you'll fight the other team at it too. Just be careful of like stepping in and like if you come in here, he'll start attacking you. Like even if you don't attack him, he'll put these little hot spots and stuff down. So just be careful. And this is normally where a lot of team fights are fought. A lot of games are won and lost is fighting over this objective. Because if you do get this objective, you do extra damage to all of the towers and phoenixes on the map. So not only do you get like health and mana regen, it gives you like a little bit of that. It's a very powerful buff, so you can stay in team fights, pressure longer. If you back out of a team fight within like a 30 to 60 seconds, you have like most of your health back. You can like jump back in. But you can go and you will do like double damage to towers, like just your basics attack. You just melt them down, so your whole team can literally
Power.
run up a lane.
Well,
Yeah, you run up a lane and you can get a lot of
50
stuff
power.
down. This is basically the
It's a
game
lot of
ender.
power.
You get this objective when you want to push the towers and get a phoenix down, or like end a game, right? You just like run, team wipe them, run down, and kill the titan and stuff.
You need to be very, very careful though, because somebody can just come in and take the final hit. Like if
Mhm.
I'm on Scylla right now, Giraffe is fighting this. I can come around this side of the wall if you come over here.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can be working on Fire Giant here.
They could have no idea I'm here, and I can just ult it over the wall.
Yeah, see how his ability
and
was
I
under
could've
him?
just stolen it.
So you got to be careful. Some like if you want to do it, you can place a ward
So you
here
need
to make sure no
ward,
one's
and
here.
You typically want at least one of your tank to zone, so they'll be on the opposite side from your base, and they will just be walking around, making sure no one's coming up, making sure no one's here.
So that is the majority of like mid and all this stuff. Let's get